for example, on this is the home page. Here, I would want to see some sort of call to action, some text up here. Let me give you an example. It's not bad. Let me go to this side. Hang on. Okay. See, on this page, we got the image in the background like you have,
Yeah.
but now we have some text overlay,
Yeah.
and we're also got a CTA, which is your call to action. We want you to view the demo or the demo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's laid out like this, and when you build a landing page, excuse me, it's late. I'm eating dinner. When you build a landing page, you want to you want to focus on one thing, and that one thing is like maybe one of your products. Maybe it's like like for example, your B2B product, or like a special or promotional or a package, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do. You'd create individual pages that are not linked to the homepage. Like for example, you're not going to come to the homepage of this site and go find all of the actual individual landing pages that I use for search and for social media, right? Does that make sense?
Say that one last time.
A landing page is a page that you're not going to be able to find by going to, like, you're not going to get a link to it from anywhere on the actual site pages, okay? And this is the actual code of that site. Let me show you. So here I have a category called landing, and I haven't built anything out, but this is what a landing page would look like, where it's set up to something specific. I'm selling something specific here, and I'm just changing out basically the copy because I've got it optimized to perform a certain way. So what happens is you build out multiple landing pages with the URL tags, which is for this specific page, it would be 3D, rsg3d.com /landing page -1 or page -1, right? Does that make sense?
I actually lost you. I was totally on board when we were talking about, you discussed the fact that you want to build it in a certain way, and obviously the way it was starting. I got a little confused when you started talking about how we couldn't link to this or whatever. I haven't followed since then.
Certainly. And anytime you want to, you want to pause me, just stop me if I ever get to something that you're not familiar with. But simply put, to take a site, and the next thing to do is we have to wire up we have to go and change out the port calls on the cPanel, which is on your GoDaddy site, which we just looked at, and then we've got to actually load the theme for this site. And at that point, let's see, yeah, we're already at the load. So we can either use this theme, or we can use, let's say you want to go and look at this store, and you want to find something that you're like, oh, I just can't live without this.
Yeah.
Then you could pick something. Now the problem with using themes is this. There's a lot of good ones out there, but the problem is a lot of them become really bloated. And and if you're not updating them constantly, there can be some issues. Certainly, there's a lot of it has to do with load issues, and like I said, they can just be really asset heavy. So when you look for a theme, look for something that's maybe it claims like SEO optimized, which means that they should have the rich snippets prepared on there, etc. But for our purposes, let's see. For our purposes, we'll just stick with this thing for right now. And then we're going to have to, like I said, the next step would come in, add the pages, the navigation. Are you familiar with all these things?
Obviously the pages are what? The individual pages that are on there, blog posts, if you had a blog on it.
About us, homepage, contact us.
Domain, that's our navigation would be.
You don't know how the homepage would look? Is that what you mean?
You're asking if I'm familiar with those tabs. Like, what is the navigation
Oh, sorry. That's what the menu is. Like when you go to click on a menu, you're gonna have like a homepage, catalog, blog, about us.
Okay, sure, yeah.
You can change this up. You know,
Perfect. Okay, yeah.
and then domains. This is where we'll set the domain. Let's see, Papa Promo. We're gonna need to add the HTTPS on it. We'll cover all that. Okay. Here we need to, this is where we change our A record to point to this domain in our hosting. Okay?
Okay.
Do you know what this
Go back
means?
to that. Go back and GoDaddy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what was that? No, that's not it. Let's see, panel. It's already starting to get late on me. My brain fades a little bit, but
Yeah, we probably need to go to about 10:30. I gotta go to sleep early too, man, because I can't stay up late like I used to.
I still do it, but I start fading a little bit about this time. Where is? Sorry, I'm just being stupid right now. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Mm. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. See, I think we need to hang on. Get back out of here. Let me go to DNS. Okay. Okay, we need to go to the A host. Okay, here's the A host. And let's see. What was that? The hell? Lose my mind, right? I'm gonna Shopify. Right, okay. A record, right. Alright. So we're gonna start A record. Yeah, 600-second. Yeah. Okay, we've got the DNS file saved. Now we'll be able, once it updates, which I will just allow that to do for tomorrow. But once this is complete, I guess it'll give us a uh, an all clear, and then we'll be able to use this as our login. This domain, this right here. Actually, let me just take this right here and add this to the sheet. All this is what we'll be able to use. Let's do the actual. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I need to save this document to the Google Drive. Okay. Come over here. So where am I? I'm connected right down here. Okay. Okay, I am loading the domain credentials onto the search drive. We need this right here. Do you want me to add this file that I looked at some web names just in case? Do you want it?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So let's let the DNS get set up. I tell you what, I'll get my guy on it. I'll get him to hop on and just go ahead and rip all the stuff that you have, the designs and the pages, and get those set up so that tomorrow night when we hop on, we can do product inventory setup. We discuss about the content that we need to add for each page, and then we need to discuss setting up, webmaster, all the webmaster platforms as well as your social. And if you want to make, if you want to use a different social account for this than the social account for the main site, then certainly go ahead and create one. And what I'll do then is, at that point, that's how we set up for the ads and so on and so forth. So we're really working our way towards that goal. We've got everything set up. We've got the domain purchased, the hosting taken care of. We'll need to, like I said, tomorrow night set up, like our Google Analytics, Google AdWords, all those accounts. So a lot of things to set up, and we're going to really need to hold on to this domain credential form because this is going to help us stay on the same page.
Yeah.
Or at least you keep it all for yourself. I mean, certainly I don't need to have it, all of them, but you know what I mean. Like you can keep your personal stuff and then add me as like on Facebook or even AdWords. You can set up your own account and then you would send me your 9-digit customer ID number, which then I add you to my management platform. So you keep like your billing information to yourself. You're just adding someone like me to set up and run and manage the campaigns.
Yeah, of course. So I want to talk about like the site. I guess the design of the site itself.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously should not be exactly the same, right? Like again, what I'm getting at is like there's like tabs in there called like easy fundraising.
Right.
Like that makes no sense, obviously, to have that on there.
Right.
Like, so are you saying it's going to be, or it's not going to be, or what is this guy going to do?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's certain things like easy fundraising. I'd keep flavors, or maybe even products, or flavors is fine. Maybe take out business services. That's a little clunky. Maybe take out the gallery. Maybe.
Yeah, the only one, honestly, I guess here's what I'm trying to get at. I went to that media folder, and there's a bunch of pictures and all the stuff. All the stuff that we have on that and board is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this landing, this right here, what we're looking at right now, is just one picture.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what I'm getting at, I guess, is to some degree, it's like, I mean, the design of the site is basically a bunch of our photography with some, whatever, with the text with it. Um, is there ever a time where when you're selling stuff, you've got to say, okay, like you were saying, like, you want that call to action to be there, right?
Mm.
Like, what does that process look like? And how does that process happen correctly and where the site really is,
You code
as
it.
it should be?
You code it. It's well. You with the system, you're just adding pages. Yeah. Let me show you. I mean, don't get caught up on the way something looks or doesn't look. It doesn't have to be any one way. I mean, it can be any way you want it to be. I mean, that's kind of the idea with doing this. You can make it any way you want. Now, with adding this, each one of those pages that you have, where are we? Well, let's get done. Those will be found here in this section, and then, for example, like your products that you're adding in, you're going to have to add in, you don't have an export, so maybe you have a spreadsheet. Do you have a spreadsheet with your products, pricing, SKUs, anything like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have to create one. Like I said, the way it would work is it'd be basically what flavors we have and what bags we. Right now, we only have one bag, so it really would legitimately, literally be the flavors we've got, and they can of course mix and match. They can click as many as they want, and then basically the whole idea of the the artwork.
You can, all that setup can be done. That's done in once we have the product set up and once we have all the information loaded. So maybe the best thing that you could do for me would be to get me a list of the different flavors, and certainly if it's the same flavors that you have on your product website. Let me look.
We could basically start with those flavors.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there would be some minor modifications, like some we removed, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to have the flavors we've got. That's the flavors.
I mean, I would get rid of this up here, and then go straight into all this. So I mean,
yeah. To me, this one flavors page makes a lot more sense to sort of start with, right?
You could even make this your landing page if you wanted to. Make it simple.
Yeah.
Like your home landing page. Have this.
Because the bottom line is basically this.
I guess so.
Like you were saying, you've got to have the thing where you don't sell at the beginning, you have information at the beginning, right?
Right.
So I guess what you're saying is basically those are created kind of after, sort of.
Do you mean like go for like, hey, buy this now?
No. What you were saying is that like you don't immediately go into hey buy this. You have to have the whole thing. You tend to segment a little bit and kind of warm up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like a homepage of a business just needs to list the products. Like don't worry about. You just want to have the products like make it easy to buy if someone comes to that page. But for a sales page, you'd have a landing page that you build specifically to help you sell this product and seek interest. And of course, those who are interested, you're able to then get them to buy the product through retargeting. And I mean, for this product, I mean, the flows always vary product to product, industry to industry. But something like this, it's a matter of being discovered. It's part being discovered, it's part being out there and being aware of who you're targeting and how you're doing it and who your competitors are and what they're doing and what you can do to beat them. I mean, there's a million different possibilities that you have to think through.
Well, whatever needs to happen to kind of give us something to work with tomorrow, that's totally fine. Yeah, obviously, like you're saying, a few hours of work by the guy, he's a little bit less expensive. That's all.
I mean, yeah, because he usually does it for like, I don't know, I think around 80. And what he can do in 80, it would take, it costs me, it costs you like $225 from me. So if you want to, I don't mind helping you out and saving you some money here and there. And certainly we can speed along a lot of things. So like, for example, we're focusing not on just each, because I mean, it would drive you crazy if you get to sit here and watch me add each one of these. It really would.
Of course, yeah.
And we can do it.
In terms of
right,
I'm never a person that would do this.
right.
I
So,
just need to understand how it works. So
right,
yeah, I mean, I get the idea of it. I've seen people do it. I've done a little bit of it myself. I understand what
right,
clicking around on Shopify means, right? You know, you add the stuff, you put the stuff in, whatever. I mean, we to some degree created that Squarespace stage internally, so I
right,
was there and I was aware of what was going on. So
right,
you know that process I get. Obviously, we're you know what we did today was awesome, and then of course the rest of the stuff is going to be super awesome. The stuff where you're talking about the funnel, how to actually get to work, and then the promotion of it is going to be great. I just want to make sure that we're actually promoting something that is like real, like as in this actually is the item we're trying to sell, right? And so I don't know. Anyway,
absolutely.
but
And you got to keep in mind that, in order to sell, I mean, you do have a real product. I mean, if you've got, retail sales, I mean, you got sales. I mean, if it sells, it sells, right? So you just need to understand how you want to package it, be thinking about that, who your target demographics are that you want to begin marketing to. And certainly B2B is fine, going after this manager level people or, someone that's in charge of that kind of stuff. But, keep in mind also the retail opportunities where you're able to adjust your prices to be able to make a profit. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, this is certainly, we're at the very beginning steps of creating out, the online catalog, which will then take and get into the fun stuff of, identifying audiences that buy this and getting them motivated to do it and working them through the funnel and seeing a process established and getting back metrics. And then you're like, oh, cool. So if I spend $10, I get to make 30. I want to repeat that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay.
Or if
So yeah,
or if I
there's some
spend
way to kind
10
of
and I
begin.
profit by 3, that's a 30% return. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But so if there's some way to like begin whatever, like just get something up, even if we have to change it later. Let's just
Yeah.
do it.
Just do
And
something
then
simple. Just take and rip this. Like I said, I think it's around $80. So let me check with him. But if you're cool with that, then
yeah.
I'll pass on what my costs were. Because I mean, I could get him to do it for 80, and I could charge someone 1,500. It's I mean really. I mean, but I mean, the time for me to do it versus the time we're both equal in time. It's just for something like this, yeah, it can be done quicker and I can manage them. So all I'll do is I'll take this site. I got the login credentials, so I'll go ahead and do that. And if you're cool with it, and he's okay with doing it, um, I guess do you mean just like to add it as like manual time for the price that it would cost for that like $80 it would cost.
Yeah. However, I mean, if there's obviously some way to work to add like like add like costs, et cetera, or however it's handled.
I mean, if you want to do it that way, I mean, I have to pay him. I have to pay him up front, but you can do
Yeah.
that or.
However, how is it best to get ACD? I guess that's my question.
I mean, if you want to do it, I mean, I could. I mean, we could do it through PayPal.
Yeah.
I've got a credit card. I've got a credit card processor. You name it.
Like, can you send me a PayPal invoice?
I could. I don't know if I can send you a PayPal invoice, but I could send you one of my. I can use my invoice management system and send you one. Yeah.
Like a pay online invoice?
Yeah. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, if you send me an electronic invoice, I can do that easily.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll use that. I'll go ahead and I'll send that to you. I'll go ahead and send it to you this evening. And well, let me check with him first, and then are you gonna? Well, I guess we can confirm in your AM. Yeah. If I don't hear from him, I'll confirm with you in your AM. I'll shoot you a message. But what I'll do is I'll see if he can do it, and if he can do it, then I'll send you the invoice for that, and then it'll take him maybe 24 hours to do it, and then we'll be able to take it and knock it out. Be easy.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it's possible we're gonna be working tomorrow night, but it might be. Do you work on weekends or not?
Yeah.